What's up guys, it's Poetically. As you can see here, I've got some Modern Warfare 2 gameplay here for you, but this is not the official game from Steam or anything. This is in fact a modified client called IW4X, which has dedicated servers, fun mods, etc, and you can get them through the CB launcher, which is a launcher where you can get a client version of all of the older COD games, or most of them. You know, this kind of thing exists because the official buyable versions of older Call of Duty games are kinda completely broken and unsafe. Stop killing games, you know what I'm saying? Did I mention that the whole thing is free? Like the launcher, the clients? I have to speak vaguely here, but let's say that we are essentially sailing the seas with this one. So yeah, go ahead. Try to find me and 360 no-scope me. So you've probably noticed by now that there is an elephant in the room here. Well, there isn't an actual elephant in the room here. But the elephant in the room here is that it's kind of echoey in here. You know, that's because I live in a wine cellar. So yeah, sorry about that. That's why I sometimes remaster my tracks, because the acoustics down here aren't that great. Yeah, so with this video, I want to thank you all for 300 subscribers and 400 followers on Instagram. As a celebration, I'd like to talk about Poetically, which is my music project, and what I'm trying to do with Poetically. I've noticed that there are a total of 5 to 10 people who are actually invested in my music project, so this one is for you. I love you. And for all of the newcomers, so what is Poetically, and what am I trying to do with Poetically? I was 13 years old. Puberty hit, I had an identity crisis. I started producing music with FL Studio because some very inspiring musicians turned my whole world upside down. I managed to get in contact with Uppermost. We befriended each other and we started talking about music, mixing, and spirituality, you know? So 5 years into my journey as an upcoming musician, I turned to Uppermost and asked for guidance. I needed a grounded name for my project, you know? So that's where I said to him, I need a name that feels poetic, deep, and larger than life. An alter ego, which also feels like my poetic ally, a spiritual being guiding me through the hardships of life, I said. And that's when Uppermost replied, Poetically. And as I started making more music with the Poetically alias, it's like Poetically turned into its own character, as if like they became some sort of a performer and I became a messenger. I'm sure a lot of artists to an extent feel like their art persona is different from who and how they are in real life, or is more an exaggerated version of themselves. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? An artist is playing a character. Still, that don't make leeway for being a shitty person, but the art persona is still reflecting the ideals of the person behind it all. I think you get the gist. What I'm trying to say is that Poetically is a character. Everything expressed through Poetically is intentionally dramatic and saturated. Poetically has become a separate being, one I can talk to, one who can bring me wisdom. Yeah, we have a lot of conversations down here in the wine cellar, especially on Fridays. So that was a little about what Poetically is, me the artist. Not the actual word. Now I'm gonna try to explain what I actually want to do with Poetically. Yeah, so here we go. One thing that I will never forget about music is the feeling of a song speaking directly to you, for you, reaching out to you, putting you at ease or into another world. That aspect of music sometimes saves lives. And I guess that's what I wanted to do with Poetically. Save lives. But I was gullible, naive. I could not even save myself from the pressure of the world to the psychological damage from other people. And now I'm down here in this stupid fucking wine cellar. I'm not poetic, I'm just a depressed loser trying to find purpose. So it was very ambitious and pretentious for me to take ownership of the poetically name. The word poetically describes the aspect of when you go deeper into a subject matter, when you read in between the lines, or when you start to turn something rather dull into something beautiful. How I thought I could be a king handing out gold to the poor when I can't even check my emails. I am simply too flawed to be owning the poetically name. But it was given to me, and like, God is probably flawed too, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna do my best. Thank you all for watching, and stay poetic. Bye.